people tell me. They say, I've never felt better. And it's really not even about my body, Dr. It's just like I feel better. I feel more energetic. I feel more vibrant. I look in the mirror. Maybe I'm not getting this right, but I think I'm even looking younger.
Food becomes not as heavy, not as important. We really learn to eat to live, right? And not living to eat.
Dr. Roni, you're often in the co-hosting seat with me, Dr. Roni, but this time it's all you.
The detox, I talk about the weight loss last. I've always been like that. I'll never forget my publisher. She wanted me to talk about that first. And I kept saying, but what about all the other things? And I just wanted to highlight a little bit about the benefits. Do you mind?
I absolutely want you to do that. And then I have a few more questions and I want to get everybody in after, and we'll just see how successful this detox was.
Great. So I chose for immunity because, the detox is literally mind changing as well as physical body changing. All right. And the reason why I say that is because people tell me, they say, I've never felt better. And it's really not even about my body, Dr. It's just like I feel better. I feel more energetic. I feel more vibrant. I look in the mirror. Maybe I'm not getting this right, but I think I'm even looking younger. And all of these things are for one reason, and it's for what I always tell you. It's about cellular function, right? It's about the ability for our immune system to modulate for us. Not only that, it catches free radicals. It decreases inflammation. And that's the one thing that people always tell me, and I love to hear this, like my knees are better. I can walk up the stairs. And people tell me, I don't know if I'm making this up, but my memory's better, Dr. Mott. And these are the reasons why I like to talk about these symptoms, because behind the scenes, we see weight loss, right? But what's really happening at the cellular level is that it's changing us. It's getting rid of all kinds of junk that we'll talk about later. I'm sure you're going to ask me why. Why is this happening? Or even how is this happening? The fact that we can decrease our inflammation, we can increase our cognitive function, our skin looks better. I took the opportunity to research every single product. I took hours and hours of carefully selecting them so that all of these different signs and symptoms that you are seeing is because of the products. The products is what causes the cellular function to work better, increases the oxygenation going through your vascular system, allowing all the inflammation to be wiped out, and the collagen in your skin to be enhanced, and the energy to be better. And then finally, guys, then you see the weight loss, and that's all worth it, right? But behind the scenes, the products is doing other things that you should know about.
Absolutely. And I was skeptical to actually do the detox. Wasn't skeptical. I was afraid. I was absolutely afraid. And of course, Jillian talked me into it, and I couldn't get out of it. But that is probably the reaction of a lot of women and men that are thinking about doing it. They know they need to do something. For me, I was having all kinds of strange health things happening. I'm a talk show host, and I had this throat clearing thing all the time. I was telling people recently, and I would have to mute the audio when you were talking or somebody else was talking so I could clear my throat. My heart was palpitating sometimes. My chest felt heavy all the time. I could hear my heartbeat in my ear when I was sleeping. Like, you know, moving my body was not easy either, right? Getting up and down was getting harder. And I'm in agriculture, so that's not a good thing. And so I'm thrilled that I actually went through with it. And I am thrilled and I feel so blessed and grateful that you've come into my life, Dr. Roni, and I'm sure everybody else who's here tonight who's gone through the detox and who will go through the detox, the others, they will also probably send you flowers and cards and thank yous and emails, because it was really, truly amazing. So what actually, was there one thing that inspired you to create this Detox for Longevity? You did that amazing book, 21 Pounds in 21 Days, which is right over your shoulder there. And it flew off the shelves, and you got all kinds of celebrity, clients and people that some I actually know one or two of your clients, and they come and they maybe bring their families and to your retreat on Martha's Vineyard. But this time, what inspired you to do this, a new book, and do this with products from 4Life?
So most of you probably already know that I'm doing a new book called High Five, and I talk about it a lot. And even if I go back 15, 20 years ago, when I was writing this first book, 21 Pounds in 21 Days, I literally gave everybody a hard time. I just didn't want to write a book about weight loss. And I remember the publisher promising me this, that if you do this book, I'm telling you, she says, because I've never felt better. She lost 21 pounds. My co-author lost about 25 pounds, and people just losing weight. And I'm thinking, but what about their health? I'm thinking about, I thought I was supposed to be doing chronic illness book. I thought I was supposed to help people with their digestive system, help people with their heart, help people with their liver, help people with all of these chronic illnesses. Because I go all the way back. I'm a chronic illness professional in the healing field. But I found out she was absolutely right. If I help people feel good, and Jillian always says this, feel good, share good. If you feel good, look good, share good, then people will trust me with everything else. And that's exactly what happened. When that book hit the shelves, I was getting calls about cancer, Lyme disease, liver disease, all kinds of chronic illness. But this is the thing. When I met Dave and all of you guys in 4Life, and Gabby, all of you, it literally took me back to what I wanted to do in the beginning. I wanted to do what I'm doing now with you guys. You're literally seeing the results, with the weight loss and the inch loss and the vibrancy and the way you look. But behind the scenes, your cellular function is changing. Behind the scenes, we're wiping that inflammation out. That's called health. And I think that some people that will never show up on these calls are my privates. They have cancer, they have Lyme disease, they have liver disease, and they're still doing this program. And that's what makes me feel good. And that's what makes me keep going, because I know that it affects everyone's life, not just the weight loss. It affects everyone who have a chronic illness. And, rightfully so, I can tell you why. The sad part is that if I think about what you're doing right now, doing this detox, you're releasing toxins from your system, from your vascular system, your bloodstream, your tissues, and everything is taking a break. And I remember on one of the TV shows, they said, but you're not getting enough calories. And I said, so what detox? I said this on national TV, guys. I said, so what detox do you know when it's about calories? I said, so are we talking about a diet, or are we talking about a detox? And see, going way back 15, 20 years ago, they are still trying to figure this whole thing out. And here we are, fast forward, And they're still trying to figure it out. It's not about calories. It's about releasing the toxins from your system. Things that people do every day. Do you have no idea that people do aspartame every day? People do BHA, BHT every day. High fructose corn syrup every day. MSG, nitrates, sodium nitrates, sulfites. And a lot of these things, you don't even realize you're doing it. Like you could sit and eat like dried fruits. People think it's the best health food in the world, but they don't even look at the bag and look at the preservatives and the chemicals that's on the food. So you're releasing all of these things that you've been doing, and you're allowing the body to get rid of it. And so when that happens, you have room for good nutrition and good blood flow and good oxygen and all the good things that improve the way you feel and the way you look and why you could sleep better and why your brain is working better. And I used to always say to my GI or to my colon friends, Dr. Raimondo, all you guys, I used to say, man, when you do the colonics, you need to teach them what they're saying goodbye to when it's being flushed through that tube, because that's pretty powerful. And so I'm telling you that you're giving the body the opportunity to rest and to keep all those toxic materials out of your body, because after this, I know you're going to do what's called the lifestyle program, the PEVI program. And that's how to stay healthy and to keep the toxins out of your body for a lifetime. That's probably more important than the last 21 days that you just did.
Yeah, I would totally agree with you. I'm getting my head around it. If everything you said was on a checklist, I would have checked every one of those things off, even sleeping better, breathing better. Obviously, my energy is up, my skin looks better. It's just amazing. I have to tell you, it's so amazing. And right now, we can get into more details as we have a conversation with our co-host, but let's bring Lola Thompson on and Gabriela Daughtrey, because I want to hear about their success and maybe a few challenges. You know, what challenges that did they have, and what they did to overcome them. So let's start with Lola, the new kid on the block.
Well, thank you, thank you. I mean, thanks first of all, Dr. Roni. You know how much I love you. This detox was a repeat offense for me. I first did it in 2019 and I lost close to 30 pounds. I didn't come off of it. I stayed on it for like 27 days or something like that. And I didn't have any reason other than I just really didn't care whether or not I ate food. You know, one of the experiences that we go through with this is food becomes not as heavy, not as important. We really learn to eat to live, right? And not living to eat. And so when you speak about challenges, I think I have another girlfriend who went on a similar detox, but she did it by herself. And she and I were talking one day. She was like, well, what do you miss the most? And I think I didn't miss the food. I think the challenge was I missed the variety of the eating, if that makes any sense. You know how we plan our meals, and we so much of food is socialization. And so it was not having that socialization with people, but then just I love to cook. Like, I'm a cooker. I love to cook. So not being able to come up with those recipes and do all of that kind of stuff, that's what I really miss the most, that I can think about. But if I say that there was a challenge, it was to continue, and I shared videos in the group with you guys. I know y'all think I'm crazy, but I was like, I want to eat, but the reason why I wanted to eat was because I just kind of missed food, right? And a lot of us talked about that inside of the group. But one thing I noticed today that I wanted to remember to share with you all, that I don't think I noticed last week, was I had started having weakness in my hands, right? And in my arms. I was diagnosed with arthritis probably when I was in my late 30s, my early 40s, in my back and in some of my extremities. But after this particular detox, I realized that I'm stronger, right? I feel much stronger. And I also feel like I'm calmer, which, I was telling my son, I said, we don't think about this, but when your body has inflammation, the inflammation doesn't just stop like below your head, right? It doesn't stop at your neck. It goes all the way up to your head. And I guess, Dr. Roni, you can elaborate on this if it makes any sense. I really feel like the inflammation that was in my brain, I'm calmer. The things that used to irritate me and get on my nerves, it's not like that anymore. I'm really able to kind of dust my shoulders off a lot more than I was before. And so to me, that's one of the biggest takeaways, my strength returning, and as well me having a calmness. Though that, to me, those are the two strongest things that I can think about. And the biggest difference between this time and last time is that I was more conscious. And I really want to give credit to that, to Jillian and you, everybody in the group, because having a group, an organized group to do this with, made me more conscious, listening to you guys of what you were going through, and then kind of thinking whether or not I was experiencing the same things, and just being really more conscious about the steps and the different phases each week and how things change. So that's been my experience for it. I'm so grateful. I don't think I'm supposed to do it again in August, but I don't know. I might do it for a week or something. I don't know.
Getting addicted to it.
I guess. I don't know. It feels great, though. The afterwards feels amazing.
Yeah.
And Gabriela.
I did it for almost 2 weeks. Okay. Even though Dave and I were on this detox program, I still had to cook. I still had mouths to feed. And that makes it so hard. Especially when my son would come on the weekends with his girlfriend, and I still had to cook, and he cooked too. But I did love, this is my first detox. Okay. I've done other detox, but not for 21 days. Obviously you do eat, but I did love the concept of the detox with using our products. My favorite was the Rio Vida and the Immune Boost. And I do love the fact that we were able to at least eat not bone broth, but vegetable broth and our soups. And you guys did a beautiful catalog for us to follow. And it was easy to follow, recipes easy to make, the juice recipes. I mean, everything was beautiful as far as, and also the guidance that Dr. Roni gave us. Everything is available for us. We just have to have the willpower on our part to follow through. And I did notice, like Lola said, the soreness of your knees is gone. Some of the inflammation in your legs, under your arms, your skin glows. I mean, just all these, nothing negative. It's all good. It's all good because we're letting go of inflammation. And inflammation is actually all that water we're removing from our bodies. It's amazing. It's amazing what our bodies go through just to keep us functioning. And I'm really thankful for you, Dr. Roni, for, giving us the opportunity to experience this, which is something that as a group, we try to cheerlead, I guess, try to motivate each other to have willpower. That it's all good and it's all amazing, and utilizing our products through this detox, it's very, how can I say, it's amazing. It's amazing that we did that. And I'd love to do maybe the next detox obviously is going to be in August with this same program, but I'd love to do a liver detox next. So,
oh no.
I can recommend for that. We all need it, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
with our foods and all, our liver is such an important functioning organ. And We need it too. And I'm sure our detox helped our liver too.
Is that right, Dr. Roni?
Absolutely. It helps every organ. It goes through your cells and your tissues and your organs. And that's why you're able to see the whole body effect. And I know Lola and Gabrielle both mentioned inflammation. So how does that work? First of all, when you're inflamed, your body's on fire, correct? It's like, people don't want to think about it like that. Ooh, your body's on fire. But yes, it is. It's heat. And when you have the body that's in heat like that, it draws water to try to protect you, right? And that there goes the weight. So when you have a program like this that decreases the inflammation through the process of taking the enzymes and some of the supplements that you're taking, but also don't underestimate the power of your water. You're drinking more water. Every single drink is liquid, right? So with those three things, just those three things alone, and other things cause it as well. But if you think about it, it's putting the fire out. It's decreasing the fire in the body. That's why Lola says her brain feels better. Yes, it does. That's why your knees feel better. It does, because the heat is being flushed out. That's what inflammation is. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I get it now, because I come from a weight management background. When I was much younger, I worked for some of the big national weight loss companies, and it was all about portion control and weighing yourself once a week, and you had a consultant and right, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it was still food. It wasn't a detox. You weren't detoxifying all your organs, including your skin, and you weren't actually putting out the fire. I love that, because it is heat. And if you think about it, all the pain and the aches, it feels like heat, right? My chest was hurting. Everything was hurting at some point, right? I had started taking Transfer Factor and Age Pro and the Aqua Skincare program or regime, skincare regime, months before the detox. And I was really fortunate to do that, because it helped kind of, several things like taking my arthritis away. But I'm going like this with my fingers.
Yes.
John, I said, my fingers feel so different. And what I feel all over is I'm sitting here right now, and I don't have this heavy feeling, right? I don't have this pressure feeling. I'm feeling light. Yeah, my clothes are way looser. I can show everybody how loose my dress is, which way I could go. Like, my dress is really loose. That's how many. It was busting at the seams 4 weeks ago when I last had it on. But I'm sitting here as you're talking about that heat from the inflammation, and I'm like, I get it now, because every part of my body had heat. My head, my feet, right? My hands, my chest, my gut, right? Everything, my knees, every joint, my teeth even. I've noticed my teeth aren't hurting anymore. I've got all these things that are just all these little things. You have to watch for the little things, I say, that I feel like it's gone. It's this weight lifted off of me. The bricks have been taken off of my shoulders. I'm not being pulled down by gravity. It's the most amazing thing. And you've just nailed it, because now I actually understand. As I was going through the detox, I was like, some days I had high energy and some days I didn't.
Exactly.
But I actually get it now. So thank you for sharing that information about inflammation. Amazing. Amazing, Dr. Roni. So thank you so much. I think that I want to hear from some of the other people, and Sonia Van Hecke has her hand up. So I'm going to bring her on, and I want to hear about her experience doing the detox. So let's find out.
Thanks, Siobhan. Hi, Dr. Roni. I just want to tell you, amazing is not even a complete word to wrap around what you've given us these past 21 days. I've been an advocate of taking supplements because I've suffered from vitiligo all my life since I was 10 years old. I knew my immune system was out of whack, okay? I got breast cancer at age think it was under my 50s. So it was like 40 something. But what you were able to accomplish with integrating the supplement transfer factor at a level of 1600 milligrams, that is potent. That changed everything in my system. You told me, don't worry about taking your supplements. You've been taking all this time. You're going to be fine. And I was so worried because my sciatica is so painful. It was at times where I couldn't even get out of bed. It hurt me so much. If I didn't take my Renuvo, I felt it in a couple days. Okay. So what you've been able to accomplish, I'm going to tell you right now, is if people will just stop and listen, what you've been doing every day of your life, eating all this toxic food. Yes, it's easy and it's fast to run through Chick-fil-A in and out. I have them right next door. Okay. But you put all that stuff in your body, introducing more inflammation. And then you wonder why you're at 54 or 55, like myself, and the pain and in the frustration and in the fog that you're in. And it's all because, yes, you've been feeding a gut and absolutely no nutrition at all. And if you could just stop and pay attention to what we're telling you today, really talk to the folks you love, because they're in pain too. I run into them every day of the week and they tell me what's going on, but they don't listen.
Right.
And here's an opportunity. And I just want to thank you, Dr. Roni, for allowing us to be part of the founding members. And this next time around, you're going to be a founding member. If you haven't done this detox yet and you're wanting to join us, this is your opportunity. There is no cost except for buying the supplements. You know, God sends messengers. And sometimes we need to listen. Even I, at day 10, Dr. Roni, just so you know, I ate. I did what I wasn't supposed to do. Yeah, I did. And you know what? I got sick. I got really sick. And to this day right now, my voice is still hoarse because I'm trying to get back on it and it's hard. So I'm waiting for the next one to come up and I'm going to complete it the way I should have completed it. I got all the way up to 12 pounds off of me. My husband said, I hope you're not going to be losing too much weight, which I think that kind of tricked me to saying, oh, okay, I need to eat then because I'm getting too skinny. But in reality, I still had another 11 pounds to go. Or was it? No, 9 pounds to go. But I'm please, please, please hear everybody here tonight that's going to speak. They're going to give you life. Life is in listening to wisdom. This is wisdom on steroids. What you've done is amazing. I just want to thank you. Thank you for letting me talk.
You look amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, my face stayed skinny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dr. Roni, when she talked about eating and at day 10, she chowed down. I know, I heard what she had.
Well, we talk about that. And,
has she affected her system, or is this, you know?
And I'm glad she's talking about it.
Yeah.
Because you got to understand the power of this detox. It's very powerful. So for 10 days, she said to her body, get rid of all my toxins. Get it out of my system. So now she has a cleaner body, right? Following me? Then the next day she says, now put all the toxins back in one day. Okay. And so we got to look at food as toxins. Not all food, but let's face it, most food is. So we're giving our body a rest. We're giving our body a vacation from all, and there's about 100 different chemicals and preservatives and bad stuff that I could talk about. But I think I only talked about 9 or 10 today. Just 9 or 10. And so if you take an average plate of food, you go out, and I don't even care if you pay a lot of money for it in a restaurant, but you got to understand what's in that food. Just give you one example. When you go out and you eat some beef, a hamburger for say, and it looks very pretty and red, right? Well, just that alone, nitrite, which is a very powerful poisonous toxin, is in that meat to make that hamburger look pretty or red. Okay. So just that alone, and I just gave you one example, not knowing what she ate, but I can guarantee you there was a lot of toxins. Now, if we do it every day slowly, it's not going to kill us. But let's just say you're pretty clean and then you do it. That sometimes it hurts you. So just keep that in mind because, as a scientist, I have to be able to inform people that this is a powerful detox. The other thing I said the other day to someone, and they couldn't believe this, is the average person do not get this much nutrition in 2 weeks that you get in 1 day. Okay? So that's a lot of nutrition. And so that's why when I did that TV show many, many years ago, and it was talking about, oh, we're gonna starve and we don't have enough calories. I knew from that point they had no idea what they were even talking about, because we're not talking about food, right? We're talking about nutrition. Every day, the amount of nutrition that you put in your body is profound, amazing, miraculous.
It's incredible, actually, that some juices, a few products, that's all you're having, a soup, all vegetable based things, and you're getting so much nutrition. Your body isn't starving for nutrients. That's what's amazing. So then you're actually not hungry. I mean, there's some times where you have that sort of feeling in your gut, you're like,
Well,
popcorn.
She said it was emotional. She did emotional eating the next day, so that's what happened to her, right? But
Right.
she wasn't hungry. The other thing, besides the nutrition, you got to understand some of the supplements are so powerful, miraculous, like the enzymes that drives nutrition to your cells, right? And the antioxidant. You may not be eating 8 bowls of fruit, but you're getting the power of that with the antioxidants, and then the immune booster, which is modulating your system. And I can go on and on and on. And the probiotics that you take at night. It's miraculous what you're doing in 1 day.
It's amazing. And now we've got Xenia Dunham. She is one of the Dr. Roni Detox for Longevity founding members. And Xenia, wow.
This is my second time around with Dr. Roni. So it's neat to have this experience. And I love it, Dr. Roni, when you said this was a vacation. And that's exactly what I felt. I wanted to do a reset. And Jillian knows that, because just before all this, I was under a move, from one place to another. I was so stressed. And I'm also an emotional eater. So I was putting stuff in my body that I know is bad, like eating sandwiches and white meat. White bread? White, Dr. Roni, that's a no, right? And so when Jillian told me about this, I said, oh, I got to jump in right now and do it. It was like perfect timing. And I do feel like was a reset. And, and I look at, you want it before and after pictures and all that. And I would have my daughter take these pictures and say, well, I don't really see any difference. And my family would say, oh, we do. We see a huge difference. So I did lose 21 pounds in 21 days. I met that mark, but that was not my purpose of this and getting on. And I feel like reset. And the thing that you were saying about hunger, like I couldn't believe it. You have these hunger pains, but after a while, you're just drinking, you're just doing liquids, and you're not feeling hungry. I would watch a movie. I didn't feel like, oh, I got a snack. I didn't want to snack, So anyway, it's a great experience. And really, we're right now in the reintroduction phase. And I'm really, that's so important.
Do you see yourself doing this again? As Dr. Roni, you mentioned we should do it twice a year?
Yeah, some people, if you do 2 21 days a year, and then you do 2 7 days. And sometimes I tell people just do 4 weekends, but always 2 21 days a year. I think that's probably not the maximum, but I think that's probably the basic minimum. And the sad thing is that I'm saying that's the minimum. That's how toxic we are. Okay? I mean, I tell people who have chronic illnesses, do it quarterly.
Right.
That's 4 times a year.
Susan Joy Horn, how are you? Look at your lovely background. I don't have mine on tonight. You're all coordinated. Susan was also a founding member of Dr. Roni's Detox for Longevity. And Susan, start out by telling people how much weight you released and some of the things that you found that you just weren't expecting to happen.
Okay. Hello. I'm Susan, and I have also, this is my second detox program with Dr. Roni. Yeah, and so this time around I released 20 pounds, and I feel amazing. I look amazing. It definitely does affect, how you feel on the inside definitely affects how I feel on the outside. I was especially super excited when I showed up in my skinny green bathing suit to water aerobics last week. And I'm like, all right, everything is falling in place. And yeah, clothes are falling off me, and smaller clothes I've had in my closet that I haven't worn in a long time are now fitting. And it affects self-confidence, something that I thought I was very confident before. And now I just feel more self-confident, and there is a calmness that is really true. I feel calm. I'm excited and calm at the same time, if you want to say. Now let's see. Part of the program is not to work out, but I live here in beautiful Utah, and so I did, more than the workouts we were supposed to be doing. So there were times that I was hungry because I did not have enough of the nutrition to feed that when I did go off and work out. But I would get over my cravings most of the time and drink water. I did have a few cheating moments, I have to be completely very honest, but overall I stayed on track. And I bought the basic supplement package and for my budget, but I do feel I would have benefited from having the full package, having the energy supplement, the sleep supplement. I still haven't tried those yet, but yeah. So next time I do it, I'm going to make sure I have all of the tools in my hand, my fingertips. And yeah, last time I did this program, I had a broken back. And I remember at that time there was I think it was like day 11, day 12 on that program. All of a sudden, I am walking my dog and I can't stop. And she's like, hold up, I want to stop and smell the flowers. And I'm like, nope, we're going. And I remember just moving so fast and I couldn't stop. I was on our typical walk. So there's just so many exciting benefits to this program, and I can't say enough. And what I tell people is I never have to look anywhere else for the rest of my life for a program that Dr. Roni is involved in. Like, you're my guru. But no, but I don't have to look anywhere else, because I tell people how you are so passionate about this. You're researching 24/7. And this is the real thing. So I think for anybody that's on the fence, just be open-minded and go for it. You've got everything to win.
It is the real deal. You're right, Susan. It really is.
Doesn't she look calm, confident, and beautiful? Everything she says, I see it in her.
Absolutely. It's amazing. And we want to bring on one person who is an integral part of the Dr. Roni team. She is with Dr. Roni right now in another part of Dr. Roni's retreat in Martha's Vineyard. Her emotional detox therapist, Alice Post, kept us going. Oh my gosh. The chat was where you went to find Alice, and she would talk to you offline. She would help you through your times where you just wanted to check it in, right? Alice, tell us about how you, because you did this with us. You look
Yes.
amazing. Look at that. Look, she's
Mm,
looking
Thank
gorgeous.
you. Well, I did have kind of a head start. So when I got to the island, I had already been taking transfer factor for a few, probably weeks, and already started to notice some of the weight coming off. But there was a difference when I started PEVI. And I know all of you are now doing that, right? But I eased into it, meaning that as soon as I got here, Dr. Roni says, this is what you're having and this is what you're doing. And I had never heard of PEVI before. I just said, yes, whatever she says, I'll go for it. I was surprised that the juices were like this. In my mentality, when I juiced, I would make big juices and drink them all, as much as I could throughout the day. So I adjusted to that, which means I had all liquids and then just a dinner with some protein and lots of greens, which I will say that some of them she made for me. And oh my gosh, her cooking is like nothing else. But anyway, that's another story. So when the detox started, I had a little bit of that advantage, meaning that during the detox, I didn't lose as much because I had already been wavering a little bit at it with the PEVI. So instead of doing 1 pound a day, I did one every 2 days, which is still okay because we need to also make sure that we maintain. And for me, it was perfect. And then I get her review every morning. Alice, you're looking great. Look at you today. So I knew I was doing okay. Next day, third day, oh my goodness, Alice, look at you. And I'm like, gosh, Dr. Roni, thank you. Thank you. So it was the royal treatment to be able to do this here with her, alongside her, with all of her coaching, her love, and especially the time that I did not get PEVI and I come home with a cantaloupe. I remember thinking, Dr. Roni, so we could have this after dinner. She goes, Alice, that's not PEVI. I said, oh, explain that again. She goes, it has sugar. It's a fruit, remember? PEVI is protein, the essential fatty acids, the vegetables, and your supplements. Oh, never mind. So I was very kind and generous, and we gave it to our driver. Even though we don't want to wish him any harm, he's not doing the PEVI or the detox, so he could eat it. But I had a really great time. I feel kind of what you're saying that you said earlier, Siobhan, like lightness. And actually, I can't even put an age on it. It just feels really great to not have not just the excess weight, it's the inflammation. It's not just what the scale says. It's those fingers, right? That you can move your fingers and feel like there's bone in there. My ring keeps going twirling around on my finger. And there's things that I want to do that I haven't done in a long time, and zero pain. So was this amazing? Yes. And do I want to do it again? Yes. And I know Dr. Roni says you can take a break, and if you're in good health, you could try it again. I might do a 7-day again, or maybe a 14. But no hunger. And when I did feel a little bit of craving, Dr. Roni would always suggest, anytime you feel something like that, Alice, drink a lot of water. You're getting dehydrated. Drink the water. Because we forget, we don't get hungry and we don't get thirsty. It is very interesting what the body does when it has the nourishment that it needs. It doesn't want for anything. It really doesn't. So thank you again, Dr. Roni, firsthand. She's in the other room. I have to be away from her so I can do the live. Thank you, Dr. Roni. And for everyone, you were all such great supporters of me as well. When you came to me with questions, it kept me on my toes as well. So we're all helping each other. Thank you so much.
You look so good. It actually is a little scary because you lost a lot of weight. And I'm watching you lose a lot of weight. And there are times where I said, I think I should have her slow down a little bit because we're getting ready to do the detox. But you lost so much weight with the PEVI. Mm-hmm. By the time you got the detox, I was getting a little nervous. But you did great. You did great. But that just goes to show the body knows how to what? My favorite word, modulate. Okay. Everything's about a balance. And you know, and there was a couple of times I had to remind her about the water, but she was right. The body was so busy detoxing that the hunger left, and not just hunger, but thirst. So I had to remind you, the body still needs water, doesn't need new food, because you're giving the body the food or the nutrients, as I would say, but the body does need water.
Thank you so much. We're so blessed. We're so grateful. Good night, everyone.